Second grade, welcome to math class. Today you have another test, and it's going to be test 31, lesson 162. So we're going to review a few things here before you start on your test, and let's look over here on the board. We have numbers. Here we have going by twos, so we're going to fill in the blank going by twos. And so always you look in the, if you're going by twos, then you're going to look in the ones place and go the number before that. So before or after. So here we have before 816 by twos, it would be 814. And then we have 818. Here's 500. So 500, the number before 500 would be 499. And so you need two numbers before that, so it would be 498, 500, and then 502. Here we have 321, which would be before 21 is, now you need to think 21. So what's two numbers before 21? 320, 319. So 319, and then after 321 is 323. Before 927 comes 925. After 927 comes 929. Okay, thinking of Roman numerals here, let's fill in the Roman numerals. You still remember Roman numerals? So Roman numerals are like I's and X's and V's. That's how we spell them with. So we have number one here. Number one is simply I. Number two is I. Number three is I. Number four, IV, which means 5 minus 1, IV. 5 is V. 6 is 5 plus 1, which is VI. 7 is VII. 8 is VIII. 9 is 1 minus 10, which would be IX, and 10 is X. Okay, and then here we have going by fives, starting with 2,850 and going to 2,900. So we're going by fives. So we'll fill in the blanks here. I'm going to tilt you over just a little bit more so you can see them. Okay, so 2,850 by fives, and so you just think fives for the next, starting in the ones place, the next number after 2,850 would be 2,855. Now you need to change the tens place because we're up to 55, so now you change the tens place to 2,860. And then we have 2,865, 2,870, 2,875, 2,880, 2,885, 2,890, 2,895. And so we're up at 895. So what would be the number after 895? So now we need to change to the hundreds place. So 2,900 would be the next number after that. All right, we have subtraction here. 8 minus 3 is 5. 6 minus 9. 6 is less than 9, so we'll borrow. Put a 1 beside the 6, cross out the 4, and put a 3 on top. 16 minus 9 is 7. 3 minus 4. 3 is less than 4, so we'll need to borrow again. So 1 beside the 3, cross out the 4, and put a 3 on top. 13 minus 4 is 9. 3 minus 3 is 0. And since you don't have any number on this side of the 0, we don't need the 0 there. Okay, so 975 is your answer. And let's look here. Here we have an addition problem, and we're working with money, with dollar signs and decimal points to remember to put in. So let's just start adding. 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 8 is 15. And don't forget your decimal point and your dollar sign. And your answer is $157.63. Okay, now keeping on thinking of money, let's look up here. We have money lines. First of all, I'll show you the coins and stuff so you don't forget how much things are worth. So here we have penny is 1 cent, and nickel is 5 cents, and dime is 10 cents, and quarter is 25 cents. That's the back of the quarter. And we also have half a dollar, which is worth 50 cents. We count pennies by ones, nickels by fives, dimes by tens, quarters by 25s, and half dollars by 50s. And then we have the dollar sign, or the dollar bills. Dollar bills go by ones, and $5 bills go by fives, and $10 bills go by tens. So you remember which one you can use by the second hand on the clock, or the minute hand on the clock, I meant to say. You can use the $5 if you're going by $5. If you're counting $5 bills, you can go by fives on there, and so since the clock goes by fives around the clock, like this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So whenever you're talking of, let's say, 8 $5 bills, then automatically you would know that's $40. If you're talking about 11 $5 bills, then automatically you know it's going to be $55, because whenever the minute hand is at the 11, we would say this time is 9:55. So 11 is 55. Okay, whenever you are having worksheets with coins on them, remember to choose the higher amount, like the higher coin. Work with the higher coin first. Like let's say you have a bunch of quarters and dimes and nickels and pennies, and they're all mixed up in each other. Like now they kind of get them mixed up. And so first choose out your biggest coins, like that are worth the most, and then keep going smaller and smaller, and keep track of your amount and keep going smaller and smaller down until you have the least amount. Let's think now here on the money on the board. We're going to figure out how much money we have here. So we have 4 tens, which would be $40, right? Plus 8 ones, $48. So I'll just put that in here. $48, and then you have 3 quarters, which is worth, well, 25, 50, 75. 75 plus 7 pennies is 7 cents, so 75 plus 7 would be 82 cents. Okay, and then you have 8 fives plus $1/2. Well, 8 fives, do you remember what the minute hand on, when it's at the 8 on the clock, what it would say? So here is always at 40. So if you have $8, 8 fives, then you can say right away, oh, that's $40. $40, I'll put that here. And $1/2 is 50 cents, right? So 50 plus 3 dimes, 60, 70, 80. 3 nickels, we're going by fives, 85, 90, 95. So $40.95. And we will go back and count our money twice again, but we're just going to wait this time until after we're done with everything. So 11 ones now. 11 ones, we go by ones with $1 bills. So here we'll put $11 in. And then we have 2 quarters, which quarters go by 25s, 25, 50. plus 1 dime here is 60, plus 1 nickel is 65, so $11.65. Okay, and now let's count our money to make sure we're right. So 4 tens is $40, plus 8 ones, $48. 3 quarters, 75 cents, plus 7 pennies. 75 plus 7 is 82. $48.82. 8 fives is $40. Here's $40. 1/2 dollar is 50 cents, plus 3 dimes is 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, $40.95. Oh, good, we're right on that one. And let's do this last one. 11 ones, $11. 2 quarters, 50 cents, plus 1 dime is 60, plus 1 nickel is 65. So $11.65. And now let's do your reading problem here. So we have Omer picked up 57 scraps of wood from the building site. Jacob picked up 32 scraps of wood. How many fewer scraps of wood did Jacob pick up than Omer? Okay, so we have 57 scraps, 32 scraps, fewer scraps, and yeah, that should do everything. So if you're thinking of 57 scraps, right? And then you have 32 scraps, and then fewer scraps. Well, whenever you have fewer, then you have to subtract. Okay, so we have 57 minus 32. What do I look over here? 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. So 25 scraps. And we'll just put it in here. 57 minus 32 equals 25 scraps. Okay, that does that. And let's now do your temperature here. Not your temperature, but your line graph. So we have another line graph today, and it's talking about February temperatures. That's what the title would be. This is the information that the graph is showing. It's showing February temperatures. So here you have your degrees. That means how hot or cold it was, which in February it's usually pretty cold. It's in the winter, so we're talking of more like cold. And here is 50 degrees, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and 0. So we're all the way down to 0 degrees. It doesn't look like it got quite down to 0, but it got pretty cold on some days. And then these are your dates of the month of February. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Those are all your dates of February. So it's asking us, what was the highest temperature? So looking on here, what would be the highest temperature? So if it's talking about something high, you look up at the highest number up here. So it looks like the highest temperature was at 50 degrees. So what date had the lowest temperature? And then you look down way low, and it looks like we have 2 dates with the lowest temperature, which would be the 6th and the 7th of February. And then we have, on which dates was the temperature 25 degrees? So 25 degrees is right here. So you look over at the degrees. Here's 25. And when you're trying to find which days, you look at the line. And if there's anything like on a space, don't count the spaces. You just watch for the line, and then that will accurately tell you what the temperature was for that day. So we look for lines, and we are looking to see which dates were the temperature 25 degrees. So 25 degrees, come over through here, 25 degrees, and here we're hitting a line, which would be the 3rd, and the 3rd, and here's a space, so you don't count that one in, it's right on the space. So then here's a line, which would be coming down on the 11th, 3rd and the 11th now, and there's a space, so don't count that. Right there we have another line, so it would be the 18th. So the 3rd, 11th, and 18th were at 25 degrees. Now, how many days were the temperatures below 15 degrees? So now you look at 15 degrees, and you look at how many days it was below, which would be, it looks like it was on the 5th, and the 6th, and the 7th, and then the 8th it was up to 15. The 9th it came down again. So 5th, see here what we got. We got the 5th and the 6th and the 7th and the 9th and also the 16th. All those days it was below 15 degrees. How many days were the temperatures above 30 degrees? So now you look at 30 and you look for above 30 degrees, which would be right here we have 1 and here we have 2. Here we have, you don't count that one in because it's not quite on the line. So 1, 2, and then here it was up at 35 again, and here it was above, and here on up it was higher. So yeah, okay. So that would be talking about February temperatures, and it is a line graph. Line graph, you look at the lines and try to figure out exactly what they're trying to tell you by looking at the lines. Okay, so yeah, don't forget to study your flashcards and keep on with that. And yeah, so today you have a test. Be really careful, do a careful job, don't go too fast on it. See if you can get a really good grade on it. Okay, you have a good day now.